July 23rd, 11:44. I had some time, so I figured I'd sit down and do the midday update just to go through some things I'm still in, some things we've been navigating, and some charts that might work out for the afternoon or not. So with that said, read the disclosure. I'll give you another second or so, and then we'll get right to it. Um, all in all, here we are. Hey, there we are again. Again, hopefully everyone had a decent morning. Some things worked, some things didn't. A lot of navigation. Came in with like 8, 9, 10 positions. I don't remember exactly how many. And, the note was full of strategies on how to navigate them. Most things were up a lot considering that we were up 9, 10 handles. So what I always do is I always sell a little bit into strength. So then I could feel decent if all of a sudden something that's up, $9 like in Amazon. If I sell some, I could buy some back if it goes red and then holds and redo it. Or even Apple, it was up like $1.20. I was selling some and then it came in, it was only up 30 cents. I didn't feel so agitated. I was able to maybe even buy back Versa low and trade around it. So that's why I always sell into some strength. Then I figure out if a new trade turns on that wasn't part of the existing overnight, then I even get bigger than what I had prior, just because it's a different strategy. So anyway, let's go over here. So I didn't quite think that we were going to break above this flag pattern today, considering that we still have to wait for Facebook tomorrow, Amazon on Wednesday, on Thursday with Google. So, trimming some into this made some sense, and still in this flag, it's still July 23rd. So, up 100 points in the Dow or 80 points is still a nice day. Can't expect such huge things every day. Well, anyway, so we're still in here. Not a whole lot to do, just navigating that range. The Qs, that's not the Qs. Here are the Qs. Same kind of thing this morning. If you remember, I was like, sell into some strength so you could buy some stuff back just in case. I didn't think that we would get a resolution of this, upper flag into this area prior, again, to looking at the reaction to Facebook, Amazon, Google, etc. But anyway, looking pretty decent, just a little choppier. It's the summer. I didn't even see what the small caps did today. I know the banks were strong. Look, small caps a whole lot of nothing. Didn't even look at it. So this morning I talked to you guys and said, hey, a lot of guys have been buying some of these banks because earnings are behind us. I said that in the note. Buy Versa level. Take care adding. And I've been long Bank of America. And I was like, I actually kind of think you could add if we get above 29.70 to get to 30 plus. And then I posted the chart of Goldman Sachs that had a perfect bull flag on top of a channel breakout with earnings behind it. And those were the places that had some decent day trades besides swing trades, and you could use the tier system. So let's go through Bank of America because that's what I traded. I was in some long, and right around 3:30, 9:35. So I was like, RedDog, Bank of America's on the move, and I knew there was a void between 9.70 and 30ish or 29.70. So I just started buying more. At like 29.80s, 82s, because I was like, what, this should get there fast. And then I went back and traded my other positions I was trading, and then I look over, I'm like, oh, look at Amazon. I keep saying Bank of America, it's at 30. So I just trimmed some into 30. This was an area. What do I mean by a void? Well, you get above resistance, and there's really nothing to prior resistance or where it came in. So that was that trade, and that was day one, day two, and it probably can keep going. I probably could have been a little less lazy and had Goldman on also. Goldman looked perfect. This was my exact statement. Goldman reacted well before earnings. Some are long Versa, 111.50. What does that mean? It means your long Versa level, Versa 8-day, which has been very strong since breaking out above 209. So you could be long Versa and then add for cash flow above. Got above this 214.85, and so far it's hit as high as 218.55. Not a bad trade. So at this point, if you're in Tier 1, went to Tier 2, you go back to Tier 1, and then you sit on your swing. JP Morgan, got above this 115.57 as a little off highs, probably just like the market. You could have drawn this a little bit more like this, so you had a little bit ahead of the game. Tier 1, Tier 2, extends, takes some off, and then holds some. This is your next level there. Anyway, some guys were even talking about GE. Yeah, look at that. I'm not in it. I'm just, want to mention that some of the industrials are having some decent numbers, and some people are like, hey, you had GE to start your year in your RedDog report, but that was all the way down here. But now it's been going sideways for a while, so that could be another trade. Every 3 times a year, there's a trade in GE. You don't over-focus on GE, not as an active trader. But this looks pretty good. I might even take a look. I looked at it a few times. I was going to just buy some, but I did not take it. So anyway, let's go into some of the things that I had. So Apple, one of them. At this point, you know, it closed above, this 206.11, traded through 207.23. I definitely sold some, pre-market, and now I'm just sitting in some. My stop will be the morning low, okay, below 207. What is that? 43. Apple was upgraded yesterday with a strong little session. Got long as it cleared 206. Why would I do that? Because that was your range. Then it opened above this, and it still has some room till 210-ish. But if you have too much, you're never gonna sit. But it's fine. It looks fine. Amazon also. Oops, I might have just been stopped out. Did it make a new low in the morning? No, not yet. But anyway, Amazon has been great. You can't buy strength. Remember on Friday, that was this day. You had to sell into the up open when it didn't hold this 1987. And then yesterday, I bought some, looked decent, gave you a little follow through, so that's good. And now I'm in smaller. Actually, I have a stop at the. Did it make a new low of the day? Yeah, actually made a new low of the day. So maybe I'm stopped out. But I still have my call spread. But we'll revisit it when we get a little closer to Thursday. Thursday we'll see where are we. I have the call spread, and how far will we need to go if the report is really solid to clear 2035 or 2050, because you do have a cup and handle pattern here, and it could be a nice juicy move that I don't want to miss, but it might not happen. Netflix, I was like, do not be in a rush today. At this point, said it could get back towards 314.54. I think what did it hit, 313 something, 313.50. At this point, if it stays below this and builds a bear flag, then potentially it might get more downside follow through. But again, we shall see. Here is your gap down. This was your follow through to the downside below 320.30. Now you have a bit of a bear flag being built, and the longer it stays below 314.54, the higher the probability it trades below this, and then even sees 301. It could even see lower than that. Either way, I didn't trade it once. It wasn't really a focus. What's Facebook doing? Facebook also, just like everything else, opened up and came in. Bit of a topping tail. Not enough juice to get above this. Why would it? Earnings are tomorrow after the close. A lot of time between now and then. So at this point, there's not really much to do there, except for if you took it home long because it was strong heading into the close yesterday, you sold some. If you sold some, hey, maybe you could buy some back. I wouldn't overtrade it. Twitter, I'm still in the call spread. Did come in pretty fast. I did a little bit of a day trade, nothing so special. And because I knew the area, and now it bounced off of that. Where is that now? It's a little bit above it. I'm not really over focusing here. I have a call spread for earnings, which will be Friday as we get closer. I'll see if there's another strategy I want to do. I think it was downgraded by somebody today. So I'm just letting it breathe. Beyond was a fantastic trade. I tweeted to you guys before that I got out of the rest of my options. I actually was able to sell some of my 200s for like over, I think they're like $14, $15. I bought them for $5 on this day. And then the 75s I bought for $9. I sold yesterday into the 20s. Pretty cool. Anyway, now it's still playing with this. I thought, I can't actually get a borrow on it. Some people can. So it's doing a little bit of a doji into this. So it's playing with this RedDog reversal area. Where did it hit? It hit as high as 208.48. I don't know. I think if it was going to really fail, it would have not gotten back above this 200 level. That's the new high here. That's your only point. Where is it now? 231. It's hanging around. Pretty impressive. This was a really nice surprise. It's so good when something pokes its head up. You get some follow through, then you even get a little bit more. And now 3 days in with my day count rule, let it hang here for a little bit, and create a new area. All you know now is today's low, which was 194.24, and today's high, and we'll see what happens here. For me, the calculated portion of the trade is over. I don't know what I just said before. So now this is like the noisy trade that, this you could lose money fast either way here. So when it's not calculated and it's trying to figure itself out, you just again let it breathe. LK was good. LK was a day one yesterday when before I put up the chart, I'm like, if it gets above 2174, gets a little follow through, gets a day two. Okay, that's exactly what it did. Traded through 2175, traded through 2230, and actually got as high as what is that? 23. Wow. So now we just let it sit. You know, trade it back and forth, get to know it very well. After a few times, couldn't do it, and now it's much better. Um, and I'm in smaller. We were able to buy a dip a little bit here and there too, which was nice. Oh, is it back to 22? Where is it now? 22.55. Good for us. Anyway, I thought maybe we could watch a ZM, still just hanging in there, not much going on, so just keep it on the radar still. I got to find out when earnings are for that. Uber I didn't touch, I don't really care. Tried to push through this and looks more bearish than bullish. CRWD did a little bit of a red dog reversal. What does that mean? Well, it got above 88.80 and couldn't hold it and then reversed. So at this point, the calculated trade is over, where you had a gap up after earnings, you held the pivot, went from red to green, took this out now. Now it kind of just needs a little bit of time. This low here is what, 84.49. If it's going to be any good, and it's going to see over 90 in the next week or so, if it probably doesn't break too much below this, because it would be deemed a little bit of a failure. But if it could hold here, go sideways, maybe there's something else. What other new issues? There's really not a lot of new issues. Doing a lot of work, hitting my resistance area. That didn't really crash, so maybe it holds here, goes sideways for a little bit now. I wouldn't be in a rush if you bought a lot yesterday. Hopefully you sold some today, and now I guess we'll see what else is here. This is kind of different now. Let this go sideways a little bit and maybe start a new trend. But at this point, I would not be adding here. I'd take it a little bit easy. Semis, NVIDIA, probably going to be stopped out soon. If it gets below the lows of the day, got rejected. The 200-day didn't bust through it. But it was a decent day trade from here into today. Nothing spectacular. AMD, you can tell my feeling when I see it, because I bought a little bit thinking maybe you can get above this, and it didn't do it. Now where is it? It's 33.02. I think my stop is 32.80. Still hasn't been acting like AMD, this one, ever since the RedDog reversal sell here, but it's trying to hang in there. This TTD, I guess, was definitely a little frustrating. Potent down day, potent up day. Gave a little bit back more than it should have if it was going to be great. So that's why I have a hard time trading some of these unless it's perfect. Twilio. If I was long this thing, I probably would have been out of it once it broke below this low here. So that's, as a momentum player, I definitely would be. As a swing trader, if you're on ever since here, you don't really care much because it could always change back. But as a momentum trader, I would be out of that. Etsy, it's kind of out of play today. Held where it had to. My stop is this low here. Disney gave us a good push early on and then reversed. Disney's a pain in the butt. I think I must have got stopped out of the leftover. Sold some, bought some back, and went red. So this would be a little bit of a red dog reversal, lower high. So I would take care. And if you're still in it, make sure you use this as a stop just in case. I know Lion King was really good, but I don't know. Broke right here, which was the prior momentum level, and now it's on the right side of this trend line. And the longer it stays on the right side, the more vulnerable it could be. So just take a little care there. So with all that said, I have a little less risk on. I actually put on some spiders as a short before coming in here, just as a hedge, because I had a bunch of things on. Where is it now? 15 cents higher, no big deal. And this is just another day in the life. There's no real big earnings coming out after the close. Again, the action is going to be really tomorrow. What's Snap doing? Earnings after the close. I did buy some calls yesterday. I'm not sure even which ones. A small amount. I think I bought the 15s for like 60 cents. But we'll see. If it's going to be anything decent, it's going to have to get above this, and that would make some money. If it doesn't, I'm not over trading it. And I probably should be doing my midday meetings after I come back from the gym. Because after I come back from the gym, I have some energy. I just took a shower, steam, went on the treadmill for an hour because now it's 11:59. I've been up since 4:45, and I wrote the note, did the charts, did the videos, traded, talked on the radio, and now I'm a little bit of a piece of jelly. Actually, jelly, that's not a good visual. Anyway, so at this point, we'll see how things, unfold. You had your strength to sell. Now things have, dipped a bit. Is it going to turn into a all day long thing, or do we hang in here and wait just for a little bit of a choppier session for tomorrow? So, pick and choose your battles. Be very specific. Keep netting money, and we'll keep trying to move forward. I'll see you at the recap. Have a good one.